we're not going to do it that way. There were ferocious debates at the time of the founding over whether to even create a presidency. Because Jefferson was worried that if we had a president, it would turn into a king.
Yeah.
And they kind of hit a compromise where we created the president, but we took all these measures in the Constitution to make sure that that presidency didn't become. And this is like a part of the texture of our.
Okay, I'm gonna turn that off, or probably gonna, because I do want to listen to it. Let me listen to it. I think I'm gonna put myself on mute, right? So I could continue listening to it. But I am gonna end up turning on the cam in a minute. Okay. Now, I have a lot of patterns, right? Like 2 years back, when patterns were like $1.99, I bought patterns. Lots of patterns. And because I was thinking I'm gonna test some patterns and see how they are. Now it's a lot of work. I find it to be way too much work to be dealing with patterns, right? Because I still have to do measurements and things like that. And I could just draft the pattern. Now I can draft this pattern, and I've done it before actually. But I decided, hey, you have these patterns. Let's do some little let's work with them. Let's see how they come out. Okay. And so that's what I'm gonna do. And in a second, I'm gonna set up some things so y'all can see what I'm about to do. I'm gonna be up all day. I haven't gone to sleep, and I realized that okay, I'm gonna just be up, so I'm going to do some work, right? Do some work. Should I use the iPad first? No, I'm gonna use the phone first, but I need to figure it out. Okay, because I do want to stay on the charger. And I need to see if I need to iron anything. And if I do, y'all can watch me do that too, I guess. So hold up a second here. Boom, boom. Now I think when I put you, I'm not sure why it doesn't let me do that. I wish I could. Maybe it might be a little we're gonna see. We're gonna see how it works out in Zoom. And I want to put on let me put this on. Put on my house coat just in case something pops on the camera by accident, right? If I end up with a slip, I don't want to nip the slip, okay? I don't want to nip the slip out. Yeah, no nip slips. So I'm going to just put on my house coat just in case, okay? And I do want to grab here in case I need the iron, and I also want to make sure the iron is close by. Okay. Now let me share the screen and get started. I also want to, I'm going to time myself, like how long? And so people can have a real, and I'm talking about a real idea of how long it takes to sew a garment. Okay. I'm watching videos of people and they're sewing 100 items, and based on their video, you think it only took 15 minutes. Okay. I'm about to show you that once I get to the sewing machine, that's the easy part. That's the quick part. What I'm about to do is the process from beginning to end. And to be honest, it's the part that I hate out of sewing. Okay, share. And I am going to share. Do I want to share from my? I'm going to share from my, yeah, I'm going to share, I guess. From not the laptop itself, but from Okay. Now, I am going to share from, I'm going to use my phone. Okay. Uh-oh. That's not what I want to do. I want to do that. I want to do that. I want to do that. And I know it looks sideways, right? But it's easier for, instead of me doing it that way, it's easier for me, right? And I don't want to, it's easier. Okay, this is good. Okay, it may look sideways on your end. I'm not sure, but that's how I'm gonna do it. So, I'm going to be making. Let me see if I can grab it really quickly. I don't want no nip slips. Yeah, y'all can see. Y'all can see mine. Okay, cool. We don't need no nip slips, okay? We'll grab us a page. Okay. Grab us a page. And before I do any cutting and anything like that, first I'm gonna grab some pins. I will need pins. Okay. Pins, clips, whatever. Okay, I need pins. I have some. There's a type of pin that I prefer. I don't know where I put up here. Okay. So I have some pins. And I have scissors, right? I have new scissors. And these are new scissors, and they're not necessarily um fabric scissors. I bought a pack of scissors like a couple of weeks ago for my gardening, and I saw that they had a few types. It ended up being like a 6-pack or something like that, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna see. Okay, so if they work out fine, then I'll put them with my sewing things. If they don't, I'll grab my fabric scissors and continue on. I also have some safety pins because I hate pins. Okay, I really do hate pins. It seems like I'm always getting stuck with them. I do not like getting pricked. Okay, and this is the pattern that I am going to be doing. And what is it? It's a top. I'm making another scrub top for hubby. Okay, that's who I'm making this for. Okay. And of course, like he's a Cowboys fan, and football is, they doing some football stuff. I think it's called I don't know what it's called, but when they pick their new players draft, that's what it's called. And yeah, this scrub top has made me a lot of money. Okay, hubby goes to work with his scrub tops, and people love them. The kinds, the patience, and the people who work with him when they see his tops. So I've sold many tops. I've sold many tops, and because yeah, you would like, if you wear scrubs, you can, I'm hearing that people wear scrubs anywhere, right? Teachers wearing scrub tops. Um, Everybody's wearing scrub tops, right? A work shirt or pants. But if you could get it in your fabric, whether it's sports fabric or uh, cartoons or whatever, right? Something that you like, and people like that. They definitely like the sports and the military, right? So anyway, that's what this is. So I have pre-washed this fabric. And why is that important? Because it is highly important. It's so when I sell this, when they wash it, it will not shrink because I've already pre-shrunken the fabric. The fabric has been washed even before I cut the pieces. So you don't have to worry about, maybe you wash it and now it doesn't fit correctly anymore. That's a good thing about getting your stuff custom made. Okay, so I am going to be talking a lot probably in the beginning because that's some things that's important, especially with this fabric, right? First, it's 100% cotton. It is a licensed fabric, which kind of mean that the Cowboys or the NFL or somebody owns it, right? So can't do a lot with it per se. Like, for instance, if and I'm gonna see if that's true right here. It says here, and I'm gonna. What happened? You went dark on me. Don't go dark on me. Uh-oh. I gotta make a setting change in the phone. Okay, give me a second here. I have to go to settings. And then I have to go to, what I have to go to? Is it general? General? No. I get confused. I think I go to, boom, boom. Controls, display, and I want the auto lock to be never. Okay, cool. Okay. So that means it won't go dark on me. Okay, so it says right here, and take a look. Copyright NTT Inc. Trademark 2022 NFL number. This pattern is licensed by the NFL. This is not, no, this is for individual consumption, right? Yeah, I'm trying to read it through the camera, but it's difficult. Consumption only. Any unauthorized use of this fabric getting hard. Where's that? Any unauthorized use of this fabric is prohibited. Oh Lord, it's a lot, huh? Is prohibited. It's hard for me to read through the camera. Oh, and illegal. Okay. Any unauthorized use of this fabric. Let me do it this way. It's hard for me to read that like that. It's hard for me to read through the camera. Okay. So y'all see that this is a copyright piece of fabric. Copyright. This pattern. And when they talk about the pattern that's on the fabric. Okay. This pattern is licensed by the NFL, baby. Okay. This is for individual consumption only. Any unauthorized use of this fabric is prohibited and illegal. Okay. Let me turn y'all back and put you back on here. Okay. So what does that mean? That means that I can't just make something with this fabric and sell it. Okay. That's what that means. it means that I need permission to make something with this fabric and sell it. But there's ways around it, right? For instance, oh my God, you know how much money I could make if I made scrub tops and then I listed them on Etsy or anyway, eBay, Amazon, wherever I want to sell, and I am able to say Dallas Cowboys scrub tops. Dallas Cowboys scrub tops. I would make a shitload of money. Everybody who's a Dallas Cowboys fan will love if they're in the medical field or if they're a janitor or a teacher, right? They would love to buy the scrub top. I'm telling you, it's a big thing, right? I can use this to make a button-down shirt. I can make a pair of shorts and a shirt. I can, you can use this fabric to make a many things, even a handbag, right? Which I have made. um, but then they will sue my ass. They will sue me because I would be using their NFL Cowboys, right? Their logo in the title. I can't do that, right? I can't do that. But what I can do is I can make whatever I want to make with this. You buy a scrub top from me, and then you choose the fabric, and I could sell you this. I can't list it though as a Dallas Cowboy scrub top. Okay. Yeah, I can't do that. So how I get away with it is, first of all, I have the person buy the fabric. You buy the fabric from me, and then I make the item with the fabric that you bought from me. Okay. And I cannot, like, if I have another, just a basic scrub top, and then I have this cowboy scrub top, I cannot have the Cowboys one, be more expensive than this one because why? Because then it looks like I am selling this item separately and apart. But let's say I like this scrub top, I've sold this scrub top for $50, right? Actually, it's $100 scrub top by the time the person buy it from me, right? But there's something else that went with it. So I was making a lot of these during COVID, so I had a matching mask. I would make them a mask, and the women, when I made their shirt, I added like a little bag, a little purse. I actually made a little purse, right? And for $100, you got the top and whatever else I made with it. Okay. Now that's not expensive because this fabric is not cheap. Y'all can go look it up. If you can get it on sale, you might be spending $12 a yard. If you get it regular price, I mean, it might be $17 a yard. And depending on your size that I'm creating, well, it depends on how many yards I need, right? So let's take a look at that really quickly. That will be on the back. Do I have this? Let me put this on video so it gets bigger. So we can take a look at it really quickly. Is it upside down? Is it right side up? Oh, it did kind of flip for me, I think. Okay. So let's say and it would go based on your hips and things like that, right? That's why I would need your measurements. And based on this, for hubby, I'm making him an extra large. With this is a large and an extra large. I'm not sure if you can see that right there. This is size BB, which is large and extra large. But it looks like the pattern itself goes from, they do have a small, medium. They have an extra small, small, medium, large, and extra large. So there's probably another packet that starts from an extra small to a medium, and then this is a large to an extra large. The reason I have to do hubby in an extra large is because he's tall. Okay, because he's definitely not big, but he's tall, and so I'm gonna do an extra large. And by doing the extra large, it says that I need to have, I'm doing the top, 2¼ is that a quarter? I can't really see that. I'm not sure if it said 2½. Is that a 2 or 4? Man, y'all, it's early in the morning and my eyesight is not what it used to be. I can't, I think that's a 4. It's so small. Let me use the phone and see. Look, I'm gonna use the phone to in order to zoom in on that. Wait, this is, there's the extra large right here. I'm doing the top. It looks like 2 and 1/8. That look like an 8, right? Yeah. Yes, that's 2 and 1/8. So I need 2 and 1/8. I'm gonna zoom out. Okay, 2 and 1/8. Wow. I wonder what the 8th is. Okay, but I need 2 and 1/8 um, yards of fabric. Normally, what I tell people is I need 3 yards of fabric, right? Because sometimes that 8 might be a 4th, it might be a half. I'm just selling you the fabric in yards. Okay, we're not gonna do no 1/8 of a yard, no 1/4 of a yard. So you would have to buy 3 yards of fabric, and that's what this is. This is either 3 yards or 4 yards. I forgot because I bought it like a month ago. I'll check really quickly. My mat here is a yard that way, but it doesn't matter. I know I have enough, but usually, because I made sure I had enough when I bought it, right? But I knew that I have enough. So I would tell you my people, if they, depending on what size they need, I'm breaking it down straight into yardage. Okay. So you have to buy 3 yards of it. So if you add that $17 times 3, we already talked about $40, and that's just this. That don't include anything else, right? So we talking $40, and we haven't included the thread. We haven't included any. I think I need some interfacing, right, for the collar. Let me see. And it's just a piece for interfacing, and it doesn't take any buttons or anything. So as far as I can remember, when I looked at the pattern pieces, all I need was the fabric and some interfacing, right? So we already at like $50. So I basically say $50. Remember I mentioned $50. You know, $50 is just bam for anything that I need to make the shirt. And then I'm charging $50 for my time to make this. And I promise you that is a steal because it's going to take me a few hours to sew this. And if I want $40 an hour for my sewing, well, I'm not going to be able to get that, right? Not if I'm selling this just for $100. No. Yeah. Okay. But let's get started. Y'all gonna see, I'm gonna time myself and basically just cutting out. Now, I also want to show y'all another thing. So, well, I'll show y'all when I get on the pattern piece because that's where it's gonna be. So I have already done some of the work. What does that mean? I've already gone through these patterns. I opened the pattern and I took out the pieces that I needed. Now, what does that mean? You're thinking, oh, Mom, that ain't nothing. All you had to do was open that thing and pull out the pieces. But no, that's not that's not how patterns are. Let me show y'all. These are the pieces I need. This is how the pattern comes on a piece of paper. And This is a piece, and there's several other pieces on this. That means I had to go through, look, that's another piece, that's another piece. So I went through and I had to cut all the pieces that I needed in preparation. Otherwise, what y'all would see me do, which I hate doing, I would have to pull it out, iron the paper, choose the pieces, cut them out, and I promise you that can take an hour by itself. And it's the part that I hate the most. I hate, that's why it's easier for me to draft, right? Because I can draft directly. Usually I do not draft directly on the fabric, right? Because I like to check and recheck myself. And I don't like doing that. So I draft, I have some drafting paper, my ruler and everything, and I will draft out whatever I'm doing on paper. And y'all seen me do that. Y'all seen me actually do that. Okay. So these are the pieces I need. And how do I know which pieces I need? Well, they have some instructions inside of patterns. They kind of give you basics. And I'm making the top, right? And so here at the bottom, let me see so y'all can see what I'm doing. See at the bottom, it tells me piece number 1 is the jacket front. Piece number 2 is the lower pocket. Piece number 3 is the jacket back. Piece number 4 is the jacket front facing, jacket back facing, jacket, jacket. And then when it says front, pocket, neckband, now they're talking about the top. So it tells me that I need piece number 8 is going to be the front of the shirt. Piece number 9 going to be the pocket on the shirt. Piece number 10 going to be a neckband for the shirt. Piece number 11 going to be the back of the shirt. Piece number 12 going to be the back facing. And then after 13 and on is pants or shorts, right? You can make pants or shorts. So they actually told me that I need pieces 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. So I have them kind of dotted here. 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. That's what the pieces look like. Okay. So they kind of give you a guide. If I want to make the jacket, which is the, so remember, this is a medical set where I can make the scrub top, the scrub pants or shorts, and I can also make the doctor's jacket, right? Hubby's jackets needs to be white. I asked him, I'm like, hey, you want me to make you one? And he's like, I was like, I can make one in cowboy, and he said, no, it has to be white. Okay, so they give those to him. Okay, so that's the jacket. Okay, that's the jacket. This could be the jacket as well. Okay. Anyway, so that is how you know which pieces you need. Okay, and then from there, you go through all that paper, unfold, and you get those pieces. And here should be all my pieces that I need. It's going to take a while for me. So if y'all got to get through your day. Okay, this is some SS that I had in case I do an adjustment. This is the neck band. Okay, that's going to make the V-neck. Okay, I actually thought I made one myself. I think I did, but I don't see it in here. Here's the pocket. And you see, I just kind of went around it because when I put it on the fabric, I'll put it a little closer. Oh, here go my neckband. I did make a neckband. Okay. So I made the neckband because I drafted it. Here is one of the little pieces, the back facing. So yeah, I have all the pieces. You don't need to see the pieces individually. But you see, I haven't. So when I pin and put this on the fabric, there's a few things. Okay. Now, I also read through the instructions on how to cut. They also, I'm gonna lower this down, y'all. Okay, because I'm gonna sit down a little while because I am talking. No, that's wrong. How do I want to lower it? I'm gonna lower it. Unlock these legs a little bit. Okay. Okay. I'm gonna lock it there. Yes. Because I want to sit down. Okay, because I'm gonna be explaining some things, and I don't want to be have to be standing up. Okay, cool. I should probably make it even lower, right? Because I can't see you. But anyway, I can see you from there. Now, I don't need this, right? Because I have everything packed and I had it in a Ziploc. I'm gonna put that over there. I shouldn't need that. Um, this also give you a diagram on how you're going to cut, how you're going to place the fabric on your, I'm sorry, how you're going to place the pieces on the fabric and how you're going to cut it. Okay. And so they give you that here, cutout layouts. This is for the jacket and this is for the top. This is my top, plus I have interfacing that I need. Remember I mentioned that I need a piece for interfacing. So here's the top here in this section. There's top and then the interfacing. Now, the top only has what it was 5 pieces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6 pieces, I think. Okay. And it looks like it's a lot, right? But it depends on which diagram you use. You don't have to use their suggestion, right? But they help you to conserve fabric and to make sure you have enough fabric. If I only had the 2 1/8 yards that they mentioned that I needed, then I may have to do it exactly like they tell me to make sure that I get everything I need, right? They're gonna make sure that if you follow their instructions, that little piece. But I have more than that 2 1/8 inch. Sometimes people don't even have enough, right? And there's some things that I've made a top where I didn't have enough, and I'm gonna show you what I did. Let me see. Unless he has it on, I don't know. He might be wearing that one. Let me go look in the closet. Okay. Think this one. This one. Yeah. And so, before we get back into that, look, I have all day, y'all, and this weekend to do this, so I'm not in a rush. But so this is one that I made him. Hubby is into fishing. This is one that I made him, and that says Army, right? Because he was in the Army. This is one that I made him because he loved the Cowboys, right? And this was one that I made him, another one with fishing, right? Different fishing. Now, with this one, I did not have enough fabric. I didn't have enough fabric to make the top. Now, this, I did not make these with a pattern. Okay, I did not make these with this pattern. So I just know I didn't have enough. And so what I did was, if you could see these, this is the very first one I made up. I did use a pattern for this one, but it was like a new look pattern, right? It worked out well. I liked it, right? It's the first one I made. And You can see there's a pocket here. You probably can't see it unless I and I did split it to where I have an area for his, was that, I forget what that thing is, that he used to hit people on the knees and shit and on the elbows, or you could fit a pin in this area of the pocket, and then his stethoscope and all that crap, right? Every can fit in his pocket. He don't like the scrub tops that kind of look like scrub tops with pockets at the bottom. So he opted out of those. Um, and when I make him scrub bottoms, well, he want regular pants, like he like cargo pants. So all his scrub bottoms look like just regular pants with those pockets on the side, cargo pockets. Okay. Now, so the difference between these three and this one, where I didn't have enough fabric, I'm about to show you that now, right? And if you look at this one, it looks like it's behind. If you look at this one, let me see. You can see that the neckline is not the same fabric, and you can also see that the pocket is not the same fabric. Okay. So when I didn't have enough fabric, I decided on what I was going to change up. And I said, okay, I don't have enough fabric for the pocket. And so I decided to make the neckline match the pocket. And then on top of that, I embroidered something on the pocket. And it says, I'd rather be fishing. Okay. And so this is his one of a kind, never gonna be duplicated. Nobody gonna be able to walk in any store or anywhere and find this scrub top. Okay, that's the good thing about finding somebody who could sew and make you something that you want, cause he ain't gotta never worry about walking around where he work or any hospital that he may end up going to. Um, he ain't gonna never have to worry about walking around and seeing somebody else with his top. Okay. Yes, he will be original. Even with this fishing one, right? Um, I found this fabric and I was like, yeah, he gonna love it. Okay. And then I found this fabric and I was like, okay, he gonna love it. And so now I kind of make him one of these once a year. That's what it looked like. Looked like once a year I make him a scrub top. And there's one missing, so he may have it on today. I'm not sure. It's either in the laundry basket or he has it on. I'm not sure. Okay. And if I'm correct, it's another Cowboys one. Okay. It's another Cowboys one. So, and then of course, hold up. I'll put these back. I'm short this right here. I'm gonna get it there. Okay, you, you. Okay. So that's what we're doing today. And the good thing is, like, I can always do it how I want it, making something very unique by cutting this into different sizes, and I can make him a quilted. Can you imagine a quilted scrub top with different blocks of different fabrics? You know, since he like cowboys, army, uh, and fishing, I can take a block of each of those, sew them into a pattern, and then cut it out and make him a top. I also can make, like, if I didn't want to use all of this fabric, because let's say somebody want me to make them a top and they don't have enough fabric, I could take this and possibly make the front of this fabric and put the back piece as all white or all blue, you see, and then make the neckline the way that'll look nice with it in the pocket. I can do what I want. Okay, I could do what I want or whatever the customer wants. And that's the good thing about coming to somebody like me. Anybody who sews or you yourself, you could be as creative as you want. And I think that the idea of a quilted scrub top might be something I might do for him later in the year. I get a couple of, you know, pieces because I still have the little pieces of that other cowboys fabric. I get a couple of blocks, sew them together. I'll show you if y'all ever want to do that quilting thing. Now let me tell you, when I tell people I don't make quilts, I do not make quilts, right? Um, and when I say that doesn't mean that I don't quilt, right? There's the process of quilting, and then there's making quilts. So here's an idea of, let me see, I have something around here that's quilted, I'm sure. Um, but yeah, I've been getting ready for my market. Okay. Did I put those? No, I didn't put those. Let me see. Is any one of these quickly? These are for sale. Okay, so here are these are for if you have a tablet, what they call these things? Um e-readers or things like that. That's what this is for. Okay, so I have that in there as just so people can know what that's for. And here's another one. And so here is one, right? It's nice looking and everything. It has a snap on it, right? And here is another, and this one is quilted. See that? This one is quilted and this one is not. Okay? This one is quilted and it looks nice. But they're the same size as they should be. I drafted a pattern and made them. This was not quilted. Some of them are quilted in the inside. Like I think this one, like this one is quilted in the inside. See that? And the reason I didn't put it on the outside is because like the pattern is pretty, right? And I think it would have been okay with the quilt lines, but I think it looks good without the quilt line. Okay. Plus, this is expensive fabric right here. It's probably the most expensive fabric that I had. I just had some remnants of it, um, and I needed to use it. It was like it. I bought it during COVID to make masks because that's all the excess I had. And I'm telling you, this little piece of fabric that I bought, that shit was expensive. Okay. Um, yeah. And here are two others. Okay. And I think both of them different. The inside is a little different. This is quilted in the inside, see? Because I thought the fabric was so pretty that it didn't need quilt lines. And this is another one, same fabric on the outside, but in the inside is different. See that? And how do I decide how to do it? I just look at the colors and on the outside and see what I had in my stash. And I had some purple and I had this I don't know what color this is. It's not orange and it's not pink, but it's like a in between orange and pink. Okay, but it definitely goes well with this fabric. And so that's how when when I'm making things. So these are for sale. These for my market. I have some larger ones. I think y'all seen some of them. I have a lot of things around here that's made. I think I'm gonna put them up and give y'all opportunity if y'all decide y'all want to buy. I have larger ones, book covers. Um, I think y'all seen some of them. Some of them downstairs, some are not here. But anyways, I just wanted to show y'all what quilted means. Quilted is a process, and then there's making quilts. So when you think of quilts, though, right, you normally think of these different blocks that might be different fabrics, different colors that make a design, and it's all that's making a quilt. And can I do that? Yes. But do I do that? I do not because, like, I do not because it's costly. Right? That's me making something that costs that I, and then I gotta it's gonna cost me a lot of money for the fabric. And then, like if you order it special, then yes, right? You're gonna pay me the money up front or most of it. I just want you to know it will be about $500+. That's gonna depend on how big it is. Now, if you're talking about a kid's quilt, even the kids quilt, it quilted is still gonna be very expensive. It won't be 500, of course, right? But it's not gonna be cheap. Now, if you talking about the quilts, that there's a lot of people who say they're making quilts for their grandkids, but they're not really quilts, right? They bought the fabric that might be already quilted, and then they just bind it, put a backing on. That's easy to do, okay? But a quilt, though, I don't think people know how tedious, time consuming. Oh man, and they get more elaborate. You have quilts in the thousands of dollars. Okay, uh, because somebody just for me to have it quoted at the very end with a design, I'm going to send it to somebody who have a long arm machine, quilting machine, and they're gonna charge me. If I'm correct, they charge something like $5 per centimeter. Right. So the larger the item is, the more costly, and it could cost anywhere from $200 up to $200 just for them to quilt it for me. After I quilt all these pieces together, put the batting on, the back on, and everything, I'm gonna have to send it to somebody unless I sit there under my machine for hours trying to do this design, right? And then I could save that 200 something dollars. But now we're talking about my $40 an hour, right? And it might take me 2 hours to quote, depending on how large this thing is. When people ask me about quotes, I just say no, because I already know. I already know they're not willing to pay, and the truth is, if they're not willing to pay, then I'm not willing to play with that, okay? Because it is a tedious process. Now, let's get back to this job here. So I've washed the fabric. I didn't lose much at all, uh, which is good. Because when you usually wash your fabrics, right, it ravels. It's 100% cotton. At least that's what. That's a good question. I did say that this is 100% cotton. I think that's. I could do a test because I am a little curious if it's 100% cotton by the how small it unraveled. It didn't unravel a lot, right? Um, it feels like cotton. I'm just not sure if it's a blend. Okay. If I had purchased this for somebody else, I would have definitely made sure um, to see if it's 100% cotton. But I'm sure that it is 100% cotton. The only reason I'm even questioning it a little bit is because cotton shrinks. And it can shrink a lot. It can shrink a little, but I'm used to a little more unraveling than this. Okay. But this is a better quality cotton. That's why it costs. Oh, yeah. See, it unraveled on this side. Okay. Okay. Yeah. It's 100% cotton. I was like, wait a minute. This don't look like it's not acting like 100% cotton. Okay. I just wasn't looking at the right thing. You see that? So, yeah. Okay. Now there's tests I could do. Like I'll get my lighter and and catch it a fire. If it catch fire, then it's cotton. If it melts, then it's polyester. Right? It could be a cotton polyester blend. There's bleach tests that'll let you know, right? Bleach. You ever seen where they say do not bleach, do not bleach? There's fabrics, y'all, that if it sits in bleach, did y'all know the fabric would dissolve? The bleach isn't because of that it would bleach it and turn it a different color. the bleach will eat. If I put a piece of certain fabrics inside a little thing of bleach and give it like a half hour to an hour, the fabric will dissolve. Bleach. That's how you also do tests to see what the fabric content is. Okay, you play around with that bleach, and you've been put some bleach in that washing machine with that item, and when you pull it out, ain't nothing in there. You wondering where it's gone, like socks coming up missing in the dryer. That's what will happen in your wash. Okay, you better read the content of your fabric and need to know this. Okay, so I'm basically folding this fabric, right? Folding it in half, like the diagram tells me. Okay, now let me see what I have you on. Are you on video? Yes. Okay, we're gonna do that. Okay, we're looking at the top, right? And you see there's top, and it says 44. You probably can't read it, but trust me, okay? I wouldn't lie to you. I'm gonna sit down. I'm gonna have a seat. Oh, okay. This one says 44 to 45 inches, right? And they're telling me if I'm doing the size extra small, small, medium, and large, that I should use this diagram. And okay, you have to read. Now, remember this says this is sizes extra small to large. But remember, I'm doing the extra large. So I can't even use this diagram, right? So that went out the way. This one says 44 to 45 with nap, extra large. So this is the one that I would use. Or this one says if your fabric is 58 to 60 inches with nap, then you use this one. Okay. If I'm correct, let me make sure. I think my fabric is 45, but I have to get up so I can get my tape measure to make sure. Okay. Now, I do think it is 45. It looks like it, right? But you don't always go by the look. Sometimes you need to take out your measuring tape. So, but there's extra wide or wide fabrics. I wouldn't call them extra wide, but they are the normal. I don't know why here in America they cut this at 44 to 45 inches. In other countries, though, you getting about 60 inches. Okay. And that is important, right? Yes, it's important, especially depending on what you're making. Let me get my tape measure. See if I can find it over here. All right, where you at? The sewing area. For those who just might not know, by looking, you have your tape measure. You need this type of tape measure, okay? Yes. When you're sewing, you can have a ruler. Yes, a ruler will help you cut things straight and stuff like that. But this is the type. And I'm going to put that here and there. And it has it at, I know y'all can't see, but it has it at 21 and a half. So we know that 21 and a half, this is folded in half, right? 21 and 21 is 42 and 42, and then that half, right? So that's 43. So this is exactly 43 inches across. Okay, if y'all want to see me do that, well, y'all don't need to see me do that. Am I? Okay, there we go. Boom, boom. So I took it here, I took it there. It has me at 41 and a half. 41 and a half times 2, and there you have it. So it's telling me that I need to lay my layout like this. Okay. And it also Wow, I just noticed that, right? I also have to double fold it. They want me to fold it here and here. And I'll show you what that look like. Now the other ones doesn't, right? This one says fold and this is the selvage. And this one is a fold and that says selvage. Which means the way I have it now, this is the selvage. The end, and especially the end with the words and things like that. These are selvage. Okay. And this, because it is folded, this will be the folded edge. Okay. That's how that is. Now something else I got to pay attention to. That's important. Okay. I have a print. You see that? I have a print and it has words. Now, if it were just the stars, it wouldn't matter and there would be no upside down and right side up, right? But it has words and the words seems to be going in both directions, right? I see the words going that way and this way. So this is kind of where I could cut it either way, right? I could cut it this way or I could cut it that way. I could have this be the top and the bottom, or this could be the top and the bottom. And that's, you have to know, because you do not want to have your shirt cut and then when you put it on, it's upside down because the word's upside down. But with this fabric, I'm looking at it and from my viewpoint at this point, it looks like these are facing this way. But when I'm looking at, I see these, this one, this one, this one, going that way. So clearly I could cut this either way. What you need to know, okay, you need to know, like I said, I wouldn't want my husband walking around with his shirt being, with the words being upside down, okay? Now there's a few things I'm going to do. I am going to look at this diagram and we're going to take a look at it. I have enough fabric where I don't have to cut it the way they have it. But I want to save my fabric too, right? If I have leftovers, so I could make a bag, a backpack, or whatever, right? Some scrunchies or whatever. But so I do want to save my fabric. So I'm gonna this is what I'm gonna be using, this 45 with a nap for the extra large. Oh, this is the the one with the double fold is for the extra, for the wide fabric. So I don't need to know. Okay, I don't need to show y'all that. Okay, so this is the one I'm doing right here. This one in the center. Okay, I should circle it or so I can know, right? I put a mark so when I'm setting everything up. So it wants it folded. Now it also, if y'all could see, you see how one is graded and one is not. It tells you what that means. When it's graded, it says the pattern printed side down. And when it's white, just plain white, it says pattern printed size up. Okay. It also will show you that on the fabric, right? Sometimes on the fabric. So sometimes you need to read the notes, especially if you going from Simplicity to McCall's to Vogue. They may have their setups all different. Okay. So when the fabric is white, that means again the pattern printed side down. No, up, right? When the fabric is white, when the pattern piece is white, pattern printed upside down. So I need to know what okay, they look like they want me to cut it with the fabric up. I usually kind of cut with the fabric down. but they want look like they want me to look like they want me to do it fabric up, but I'm gonna make sure and cutting and markings. Before cutting, press the pieces, pre-shrunk. Okay, I did all of that. Circle your cutting layout. Yeah, I did that. Pin pattern pieces in cutting layout. Okay. For double thickness, fold fabric with right sides together. See, that's usually how you do it. Right sides together. For single thickness, place fabric right side up. For pile, shaded, or one-way design fabrics, use with nap. Okay, I know that already. Okay, so they do want me to have the um full fabric with right sides together. Okay, but so I, you need to know that, right? Because sometimes they want you to cut with the fabric up, and then remember there are gonna be some pieces that are gonna be up, some pieces are gonna be down when you cut them. But I know I usually do everything with right sides together. So if I had to sketch on this fabric, right, it would be on the wrong side. They have some fabrics that really don't have a clear wrong and right side. Okay. Y'all got that? Okay. So reading is fundamental because the last thing you want to do is cut out some pieces using your fabric and you have cut your pieces inside out. Which means instead of you when you sewing your things together, this side that's supposed to be the outside, you would have to be sewing that inside. You don't want to do that. Okay, you don't want to do that. So you definitely need to know what you need to do. Okay, so this is usually how I do it anyway. I'm glad they set that straight because they're not marking it. They telling me how to put the pieces, but they didn't tell me through the diagram how to put the fabric in order to put the pieces. Okay, you cannot always trust what's right in front of your eyes because the truth is there are and I guess maybe I never used simplicity before. I think I do have mostly McCall's downstairs. I'm not sure, right? I don't use patterns, but they would have this either shaded. It's usually where it tells me to have the fabric facing together, but it usually show it on the diagram and it's not showing, right? All of the diagrams is the same colors. And if I went based on what this says over here, with the pieces, right? So the pattern pieces, I would assume that they want my right side up. That's what I've assumed, but when I read it, when it tells me no, put the right sides together. Okay, I'm doing a lot of talking and no working. Okay, so this is what this diagram telling me to do. Um, okay, I was about to say I know I'm marked. It's telling me to put piece 2 at the selvage side. This is the selvage side, right? This is the selvage running this way. And this is the fold running this way. Okay, this is the fold. And they're telling me to put on this side. Wait a minute. What? Oh, I keep looking at this. Okay. Ooh, Lord. Ah, Lordy. Okay. I'm supposed to be looking here. And this is the fold. So my 2 pieces gonna go here, 8 and 11. Okay, this is the fold here. Let's see. So I should, if I have it to face this way, it will be faced this way according to my fabric, right? So they want me to put piece 8 and 11. And it looks like they don't want me folding it all the way neither. Which is crazy. That's why they should have this color, because it'll make more sense. It does not make sense the way they have it unless you do the reading, and you got to look at this closely, right? Because piece number 10, which is, what is piece number 10? Piece number 10. That is on the fold. I got to look at this. Let me see. That look, you cannot trust your pattern pieces all the time. Okay? Pattern piece. Okay, so pattern piece number 10. It is on a fold, but that's not right. That is clearly wrong. Let me see. Okay. Yeah, baby. Listen, that's why I don't use patterns. Okay. The reason I don't use patterns is because you cannot trust them. Okay. So I'm about to show you how what the hell pattern piece what this pattern tell me to do is incorrect. I don't even need to use this because I have my own, but I'll use this. Okay. Let me cut it really quickly. That is crazy. And wait, and this is number with the 6 or 9. I think I used 9, right? I don't think I used piece number 6. Let me see. Yeah, I used 9. Wait, where's piece? Okay, I don't use 9. I used 9, not 6. And 9 is there. And the way they got this set up, what is 2? Oh, I'm not using 2. That's for the bottom pockets. Hubby don't like the bottom pockets. So I'm not using 2. So we're gonna scratch that. I don't even need the 2, right? I need piece 9, 10, 11, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Now, I'm going to show y'all what the issue is, because this is crazy. That's the salvage, this the fold, and then it looks like the fold doesn't go all the way to the end. Let me take this down and show y'all so you can get a clearer look at what I'm looking at. And I'm gonna tell you how it's wrong, right? So we're looking at this one, right? This one. Now, if you look closely, and you got to look real close, right? So first, you see how this is a fold and that is a fold, which tells me, and I don't need this one, but I'm using this as an example, right? When this is a fold and that is a fold, that means that on one side, they folded it, but they didn't take it all the way to the end. And then on this side, they folded it in. So right here in the center is 2 sides meeting, right? Does that make sense? This is the one that I'm doing, and it doesn't have 2 folds. This is a fold. This is a salvage, right? Which means at one end over here is where my fold is. On that side is the salvage. Okay? But this is piece 8 and 11. That's the main shirt. And then there's piece 10. You see that piece 10? But see this line right here? They showing salvage, right? This is a salvage, this is a salvage. And also that this side is a salvage also, right? But y'all see that there's a line here, right? Y'all see that? That tells me that this is folded, but it doesn't go all the way to the salvage, right? So it's folded, not all the way to the end, and then it's going to go across like that, right? But on that fold, oh, look, on that fold, they have piece number 10. You see that? You see that's piece number 10. Now, they want me to cut. I see what they doing now, but it's still incorrect here, right? This is the line, which means this is a selvage. This line right here is a selvage. They showing this is the selvage too, but this is a selvage also. That pocket looks like it's across the line, which is ridiculous, right? Because, but this piece is going to be cut too. Number 10. But do you see how small they have number 10? And look how large number 10 is. This is number 10. Let me see. That's number 10. But on this diagram, they have number 10 as being small. See it? Even here, they got it small. Okay? They have it small. Here they have it small. But it looked like it's even smaller on this piece. So they're telling me to put my piece 8 and 11. And at the edge of 8, I should stop. And then I'm supposed to put this piece right in between these two. So when I cut it, it's going to cut out on both sides. And when I cut this one piece, it's going to be on one. And I'm not cutting out two. Those I don't need. Okay? Now, I'm going to set this up the way they tell me, and we're going to see what the issue is. Hold up. I have to get up, y'all. I got to get up. Oh, me going up and down and up and down. Okay. Up and down and up. Okay, let's set it up. We're going to set it up like they tell me, and we're going to see how that work out. Okay? And that's what you got to study what you need to do beforehand, like I'm doing, and then you got to see if it makes sense. And sometimes it do not make sense. I don't use patterns because of this. Like I could have by now cut this out, right? I would have just put the pieces on, fitted them, and figured out what was the best way to do it. I'm gonna see how it works out, and then I'll make a change if I need to. Okay, so they don't want me to fold this all the way, right? Remember? So I'm gonna open it up, and then I'm gonna fold this most of the way, but not all of it, like this. Okay, that's what it's telling me. Now I'm not gonna know how much I need to fold it until I get pieces, and then I'll know, because based on what they're saying, 8 and 11 should be the same, which they should be. It should be the same width. And at the edge is where I should. So what I'm gonna do is, this is the fold. Let's get 8 and 11, or at least one of them for now. And I don't think it matters which one is on what each end, but this is 11. And they do, on the piece itself, see, it has a symbol. I'm not sure if you can see it. It's an arrow going like this, and it goes like this. That means place this on the fold. This part goes on the fold part, which means since my fold is at this end, this part goes like this. Okay. Now, based on this piece, I haven't folded it over enough, but I'm close though. Wait, no, I'm close, but no cigar. Okay. So we're gonna take this. I'm gonna fold this. No, that's too much. The way they was basically telling me I should have, based on that diagram, I should have a good amount of extra over here for at least the pockets. But that doesn't look true. Right? Let me see. That's what I am saying. Do not trust them. Okay. I could come back a little more. Let me measure that, because I'm not gonna be sitting here adjusting this forever. Okay, I'm gonna measure from this end to this end. Get this straight. And look to be an 18. And It's at 18 and a half. No, that's 18 and a quarter. So this is in looks like it's in 16. Okay. So let me measure. Let's do 8. What I said, 8 and what I said, 8 and a quarter. Let's take you. Let's do the measure. Ah. I'm gonna not be right. Is it? Oh, 17. Okay. I'm about to say it can't be 8. Okay, 17. And wait, I gotta get it flat. It's not flat, so I can get it more accurate. It's close to 18, but it is 17 and 3/4. 17 and 3/4. Where I'm at. Let's see where you at this point. That's over 18. Let's back you up a little bit. And I am going to use the selvage, by the way. Okay, the selvage is printed on to that, so I don't have to waste that. Some people will cut that off, but by the time I sew my seam allowance, that's going to be a part in the seam allowance, and so I don't cut that off. I only cut that off if it wasn't printed on. If on this side it showed white, then I will cut that off. If if it doesn't show white and it's printed on, then I'm not cutting that off. Okay, I can use that. I can use that, and it ensures that it doesn't unravel at that. Okay, I'm at 17. I gotta go a little more. Let me see where we at. I said 18. I'm okay with being at 18 because it's close to 18 anyway. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna fold that over like that. Okay. I hope this is on grain. I should look. Oh my God, have I ever purchased fabric that's off grain? Yes. Okay. I don't even want to. I'm scared to even test. It looks like it's on grain, but looks can be deceiving. How would I know if it's on grain? Oh my, I don't even want to test it because if it's off grain, baby, I'm gonna be pissed. Okay. I'm okay with like this, the ends, the salvage being off grain, like the ends over here. I'm not really concerned because I'm gonna cut away from that anyway. But if this thing is off grain, and I do have some fabric like that, it's the worst thing ever. We lose so much. I lost so much fabric trying to get it on grain, and then I just had to use the fabric to make something else. Now I'm only concerned with things being on and off grain. Usually with clothing, I'm not really caring if it's a craft item. To be honest, okay. Okay. I also could tell something off grain if when I fold it, see how I folded this fold edge, if it was wobbly and not laying correctly, kind of, I would be like, okay, it seems like a problem. It's because it won't fold correctly. It won't lay right. I'd be like, okay, I could tell this off grain. So I can tell that my fold isn't exact because of that, but I'm okay with that. So let me get the piece, whether it's either 11 or I think 8, right? And I'm gonna go away from the edge just let a bit just in case. And it looks like I didn't fold enough. But I'm doing extra large. But I thought I measured it. Let me see. I must have did some adjusting and put it back some. No, I did not. Now it's showing exactly at 18. What the heck going on here? It was 17, but this shows at 18 too. Wait a minute. This shows a little bigger than 18. You should see it. What's going on here? Let me put it on the air. Yeah, look, that's a little. Man, I'm gonna be honest. I should just fold it all the way. That's what I'm gonna do. But this is. It's not even gonna save me, but a little scrap piece over here. I'm gonna fold it all the way. It's gonna save me time. But that would be a way of them saving me some fabric. Okay, use some fabric. But the honest truth is, when I look at this, they're making it seem like that part is big enough for a pocket. That's what I'm saying. That diagram is wrong. Okay. Look at here's the pocket, y'all. So this is the pocket. And see this line here? That tells you to go with the selvage. The selvage, right? The selvage is going like this. So this line needs to go parallel with the selvage, right? So I'm gonna cut this. Let me hurry up and cut this. I'm show y'all what I'm talking about. Wow. Look, all of this just to get this started. I haven't even started cutting, and I've already run into problems dealing with patterns. It would be easy for me to make a couple of squares and to make this top, draft this top would be so easy. In fact, it would be really easy because I could take one of the shirts that he already had, either one that I made for him or the ones that, that the that he got from the work, and I could lay it down and cut around it and have my own pattern piece. Okay, this is just a square. I can measure this and put this, measure this and cut this with my ruler, right? Wouldn't even need this pattern piece. But I'm cutting this out for a reason to show y'all that you cannot trust the diagram. So this is the pocket. And based on the pattern placement, it's telling me that the pocket should go right there, right? But by the time I fold this over, put this piece on, let's do that. I'm just gonna show y'all this piece. And remember, that is for the extra large, right? Let me make sure. I'm gonna make sure of that because I could swear that's what that is. Wait, this is, yes, this is for the extra large. Okay, so they tell me that, and this is the right, I measured the fabric. It's 45, it's 44 to 45 inches, right? When I measured it, wasn't it at 21 and a half, which 21 plus 21 is 42. Wait a minute. Wait, that might be a goddamn problem. Wait a minute, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Let's do that again. Look, because I forget, and I should have wrote it down so I can make sure. So, let me put this more precise like that. Okay. Um, so what the hell? Oh, because I didn't have it even. But yeah, it's showing 22. Okay. It's showing 22. That's with everything being flat and even. Last time I recognized that it was off a little bit, right? It was off a little bit, but I went from this edge. So that's why it showed me at 21 and the half. But me putting it, wait, y'all still can't see. Me putting it side by side like that to make sure it's even, flattening it out like that. And then when I measure, that is close to 22, which is not, it's close to 22, but not exactly. Unless I stretch it like that, and then it's at 22. Okay, so when I put it straight, it's at 22. 22 and 22 is all day 44, right? So that means I'm meeting the what should be, and that's how fabric is anyway. It either comes in 44 slash 45 between those, or it goes from 58 to 60. This is the exact size that it should be. Okay, so I'm gonna put that shirt down, right? Let me just test it right in this area. Put that shirt down. Okay, see, I put that shirt down, and look how much is there. But if we look at that diagram, when I put that shirt down, I should be able to put the pocket there. Now they saying that I should be able to put the pocket right here. Now where's that pocket piece at? They telling me that I should be able to put that pocket piece right there. And I'm not sure if y'all can see that, but there's no way for that pocket piece to fit there. And there's also no way, so that extra, not folding it, just folding it to here, wasn't going to give me no extra, because this pocket only needs to be cut once flat by itself. Don't trust the diagram. That's what I'm saying, okay, to these patterns. Now we're going to move on, because I'm taking too much time, and I'm going to cut this the way I want to cut this, okay? And so what I'm more concerned with is, where is it? I'm not even understanding why. Let's talk about this piece right here. This is the neck band, right? This is the thing that makes the V-neck. And to be honest, this should be cut on the bias, right? I traced out their piece, so I wouldn't have to cut it. On the ones that I did, it was cut on the bias. This is not cut on the bias. Also, it should be cut on the bias with a fold. Instead of me cutting two, taking two and piecing it together, it should have been cut on a bias, which would have made it straighten out. Now I'm gonna follow this pattern to a degree. I don't know if I should. I'm not pissed off. I'm not happy. I know too much. Oh my God. It's frustrating. How do people do it? How do y'all follow patterns? Like, it's the most ridiculous thing. And this is the frustration I would have, even whether y'all was here and me recording and sharing. This is what I would be going through, this frustration. And and I feel like I'm going crazy. I feel like, okay, like this pattern is what I'm supposed to be following. But I cannot follow. And I can't follow. And now I'm concerned about everything. Like, they layout is messed up. And then on top of the layout being messed up, I know that this is incorrect. I know before I cut out my goddamn expensive fabric that I can make the neckband like this, but it's not the best way to make the neckband. It should be cut on the bias. It should be cut on the bias because it goes around your neck. And this is woven fabrics. They should not be straight pieces, right? So what part does it go? Let me show y'all what I'm talking about. To this neckline, it's a V. And although, right? although that V is look like it goes straight and straight, we know that a person's neck going there, right? We know that that's where your neck, that's the V neck. And the V neck, in order for it to lay to the person's body correctly without it crinkling up, it needs to be cut on the bias. And I'm not happy right now because I didn't take hubby take his measurements so I could hurry up and quickly do this. But I know for a fact, if I make this like they telling me to make this, it's gonna look weird in his neck area. It's gonna be two pieces straight sitting around his neck, and it's gonna stand out. And I'm pissed. Okay. It was weird because when I copied this piece, even though it's mine, it's copied. I did not draft it. When I was drafting it, though, I was a little confused. Like when I was copying it, I was a little confused, and I was like, okay, like I was like, how is this gonna be the neckline? And then I saw, oh, I need to cut two, but then I still was thinking like, but but what, right? When I went to put the line, I was like, something's not right, right? This should be on the bias, and I refuse to cut into this fabric. Following these people instruction. And see, look, is this the first time? Um, this is the second time I done bought a pattern. And when I went to go make it, that that I listen, I'm not cutting into the fabric following this junk, right? Like even this, right? Even the pocket, I was like, okay, because it's just a pocket. You really, it's a square, right? It's actually not a square. Is it a square? It might be a rectangle. Okay, I would have to measure it to see, but it's close to a square, right? But I was thinking, like, they're not even showing you how to make it nice, neat, squared off. But I figured, okay, no big deal. I'll make it. Actually, I have a pocket, which come already made, right? So I really didn't even need this pattern piece because I have what I call it's like a pattern piece, but it's a little smaller than this. Uh, so when I fold this, it'll help me have straight lines, perfect pockets. I have that somewhere. And so the one of the patterns I tried later last year, actually it was early last year, because I was making a hat. And I had said, okay, I'm not gonna draft the hat pattern, even though I have hats, right? I make hats. I'm not sure if y'all ever seen them, but I make bucket hats. I make caps. You name it, I can make it. And but it was a bucket hat, and I didn't feel like drafting it, right? I didn't feel like drafting the brim. So I went downstairs in my stash and I saw that I had a pattern that's like for a jacket, and it added a bucket hat. And I was like, oh, I got a pattern for a bucket hat. So I took it out, I cut the pattern pieces, and I cut into my fabric. But my dumb ass, right, instead of doing what I'm doing now, where I was reading the pieces and making sure based on my knowledge, instead of doing that, I put the pieces down and I cut them, right? And then when I went to go sew it together, the brim, so there's the body of the hat, there's the top of the hat, and then there's the brim of the hat, right? It's three pieces. The body of the bucket hat and the brim was shorter than the body. And I was like, wait a minute, this is wrong. I had to go and get the instructions. I'm like, wait a minute, something is not right. I think I still have those pieces somewhere in that drawer over there where I cut into that nice fabric and I could not make that hat. Okay. The and what do you do when that happens? Like, I don't even like, am I supposed to return the goddamn pattern and say, hey, this doesn't work? And I wonder how many people go through this. Like, how many people go through this and we're not on the internet sharing it? Like, this is a bad pattern. The layout, so forth, right? Cutting it and putting it together, I don't even know, but I don't trust it at this point. I don't trust their information, but not because of where to put the pieces. That's minor. I don't trust it because of this piece right here. This piece. Okay. And I'm not gonna have my husband walking around looking like no fool. Now, even though, yes, he'll be able to put on with something like this, he'll be able to put it on and it still look good as long as you're sewing. But the collar will stand out because it won't lay right around his neck, right? It'll be like where I took two straight pieces, sewed them together, tried to make this V-neck, right? Which I would make, right? I can kind of see how this goes. So I'm glad so you see this, right? Imagine me having two of these, and the other one goes in this direction, right? Let me show y'all. Let me see about where the one that I didn't cut out. Let me cut it out. Let me show y'all what I mean, because it is serious, right? It's not as minor as it may seem. I'm gonna show y'all. Give me a second. I'm gonna cut this piece. It the eye can tell, like my eye, when I see people wearing their clothes, I can tell multiple things, right? But especially with wovens, like stretch fabric or knit fabrics, you get away with all kinds of things, right? Because it stretches, it molds to the body, it lays to the body, but wovens does not. Okay, wovens does not. Okay, wovens are less forgiving now. Wovens look good when you have a correctly sewn garment. Them Africans, right? You ever look at their clothing? They're using woven fabrics. I mean, they mold them woven fabrics into some great design. Okay, look, they be doing it, baby. Here in America, though, we seem to be more with So this is the piece, right? This is the piece. This piece and this piece are the same piece. I'm gonna show you what I'm talking about. And for anybody who sews, if y'all watching, if you look at this, we remember we make something that's flat into 3D form. 3D form, we take it something flat and then we mold it into something that when somebody's body in it, it looks good, right? So these two are the same. I'm gonna show you that they're the same, right? See, and the reason I know they're the same because I copied it, right? I traced it so I wouldn't have to cut all the pieces. I would have did it with the big one, but I didn't want to. I felt like I'll just cut it, right? So these two, what you would do is you would fold it like this, and the V will end up being like this, right? Y'all see that? So here in this space is where the V will be. Right? You can see the V, right? Y'all can see it? Okay, cool. Now the problem is, though, it's all good and sweet if it's flat. If it's flat, if it's flat, it looks like a good V. But imagine Now your body in it, and it's supposed to go with your body. It's supposed to flow with your body, right? It's supposed to go by your neck like this, and then it kind of goes. But the problem is this piece is too stiff, right? Um, it's stiff, and so while you're walking in your shirt, the rest of the shirt gonna flow right? As long as it's on grain, it's gonna flow and do its right thing. But the neckline is going to stand out just as stiff as this piece of fabric is. Like this one is a little flimsy, right? Right? That's a little flimsy. You can see it flowing, but because it's not on the bias, it's really gonna be flat like this. It's really gonna stand up. Like when you turn his neck and things, it's gonna kind of pop out a little bit. It's not gonna be as comfortable, and for the trained eye, and even probably everybody's eye, you're gonna you're gonna look at it and you're gonna see something's not right. You may not know exactly what's not right about it, but you will your eye will just look at it. You'll catch it, but you won't know what the issue is. Now I'm gonna also show you what's gonna happen. Give me a second. Let me go grab one. Grab one that I've done, and I'm gonna grab one that I didn't do. I'm about to show y'all exactly what I'm talking about. Let me see, make sure there's no. And see, I'm pissed off right now. Okay, so let me give you a prime example of what I mean. This is one that came from his company, but I'm gonna show y'all one that I made, right? Okay, so remember we talked about the V-neck, okay? He, I made this for him 6 years ago. 6 years ago, I made this. This is the V-neck, right? Look at the V-neck. This thing has been. I know he wears this at least once a week, every week for 6 years, right? I know it to be fact. This is one of his favorites. It's his work scrub top. He wear it to work. He come home. He take it off. It get washed, and it goes back in the closet, right? Y'all saw hangers on it. He hangs his clothes up. This is. Look at that collar. It looks like a collar, right? It's a V-neck collar. Okay. Now let's look at one that you can see is on the hanger. Look at this collar though. Look at this V-neck. Do y'all see something different in this V-neck? Y'all see something different in this V-neck? Look. 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 Y'all see that? Y'all see them? Y'all see them tucks? That's not supposed to be there. Baby, that's there because this is not cut on the bias. This is not cut on the bias. So on his body, like I said, it looks good when it's flat. The V-neck look good when it's flat like this, right? That looks so good and straight. You thinking, oh yeah, that piece gonna do right, right? That piece gonna be right. But this is this. This is this. Now let me show y'all again. This is newer than this. Okay? Because they give him new ones every year. Right now, if he wanted to grab some new ones, he could. Look at this. I have wait, let me see. I'm trying to see if I interfaced it, which I did. I could feel a little interfacing. It's a little heavier, just a tad bit heavier than the rest, right? But you see that? There's not a fold in that, baby. I can go grab any one of them. And there's not a fold in this. It's straight. And the reason being because it's cut on the bias, I can twist it and turn it. Whatever his body does, it will go with the flow of his body. Now, maybe y'all saying, well, Bomb, You're tripping because maybe we can't really see it. So let me go grab another one that I did that you might be able to see. Any one of them that I did, baby. Um, I don't have a white one. Let's grab one that if you was able to, you should be able to see because it's obvious, right? This is stands out. In fact, it stands out because I make, remember this the one where I make the pocket different to match. Look at that. That's no folding tucks in this. There's no folding tucks. And look at this. And if you think it's just this one, let me go grab another one that I didn't make. Because they don't care. When people make your clothes and they make it in bulk or they make it the way they make it, you think they caring and doing the techniques to make sure that it doesn't unravel. You think they caring about cutting shit on the bias. You think they care whether these sleeves are too large or too small. They don't care about that. They're doing basic, whatever. They're not doing no special techniques. I can show you inside these shirts where I ensure that these is not gonna fall apart. Okay, I gotta hang it back up. Probably likes his stuff in a certain order. He gonna know that I did this because I don't know what his order is, but I just know. Let me grab another one. I'm gonna grab other one. Wait, make sure there's no company name. So these motherfuckers, man, they be looking. They be trying to get all your little information if they can. Here you go. So I showed y'all this one. I didn't make this one. Look, even in the pocket top. Look at them folds. Here go another one. Look at that. Wrinkles all in there. And is that important? Well, it's important for wear, and it does, and your eyes draw to it. And that's because that's not on the bias, and that's the only reason that is. Okay, it's not on the bias. What is this? That's a shirt. That's a pocket in the inside. Yeah. That's a good idea. Okay. So, and if I can't trust a technique, like I make my items, I want my items to be right. I want them to be sharp, and I take my time, and I'm not happy. Okay. And look this black. He has other colors also. I mean, maybe he has blue and black. He go a black one. He go a black one I didn't make, and you can't see it as much because it's black, but it is there. It's black. You can see the waves. Okay, you may not be able to see it, but I can. And the only reason that is because it's not on the bodies. That's the only reason. I wonder what that is on there. No, it smells good. It's washed. He washed his own clothes, okay? I don't know what he used. That might be something. There's some type of stain on there. Probably something from the chemicals he used at work. I don't know. I have no idea. But anyway, so I'm unhappy. And so what I'm gonna do, I am making this weekend. But we know now. So people probably say, well, Bomb, take the piece, cut it on the bias. And I can't do that. I could cut this piece on the bias. I just have to see how they construct it because what I was going to do is I was just going to draft it. I don't trust anything about the entire pattern now because of this, right? But let me see. They have a back, a front. I'll do the measuring and see. All I did, remember, based on the setup, I don't trust that, but this is simple. If we look at this pattern piece, right? If we look at the pattern piece, it's not difficult to draft. And I could draft it directly from his body. And I've done that already, right? I did that. And I don't have those pieces no more. I don't know. But I could do it again. It's no big deal. It'll take about 5 minutes to draft. I just need his measurement. Okay. Or I can use one of those shirts to lay it down. But if I'm gonna do all that, I was to get his measurements. Okay. It's a line at the shoulder area. The line going down the sides. Me figuring out where I want to put the vents. It's simple. But I would like to, I need measurements. And also, what makes this pattern so simple, and the shirt that I created, the difference between mine and the ones that they gave him is I did, I call it homegrown sleeves, right? That means I did not cut a armhole and then cut a sleeve piece. What I did was I drafted it and then I just added a rectangle at the end on the edge, like this part here. Let me see. And I think this pattern is like that too. Let me see. Yeah. See, so let's say the shoulder, his shoulder would end maybe about right here, right? If I do a measurement, hubby, let me see what this is. I think 7 inches would be a good draft number. And so let's say his shoulders in here, right? And then I added a little bit and made it to where the sleeves is just automatic, right? Make it automatic. And it was easy for me because me drafting out, this happened 5 years ago 6 years ago when I drafted that. And I wasn't too sure on how to do sleeves yet. I was still kind of iffy with how to draft out a sleeve. Okay. And I'm gonna be honest with you, it's still up in the air. I still don't like it. I do have a sleeve pattern though already created for him or that I drafted out. Okay. Um, but it's just simpler for me to do it this way. And it comes out nice, right? There's some drawbacks to it though. There's drawbacks like when he raises his arm. And I keep asking, hey, you sure you okay with the way it is? And he said, yeah, he loved it. But when you raise your arm with a shirt like that, the shirt itself lifts up, right? So that's why I said, yeah, the shirt, because there's no separation between the shirt and the sleeve, which means you raise your arm up high, the shirt lifts up. Okay. That's the drawback. But I make it long enough, and so where even if he raises on, it really don't affect anything. Nobody really see anything. He's tall already, so I always have to adjust the pattern pieces anyway. That's why I have these extra pieces like this piece. So I was gonna cut, and there's an area where you shorten or lengthen a pattern piece. It seems hard. I remember being very nervous to do it until because dealing with pattern pieces, right? When I draft, I don't have to worry about that. But for those who don't draft, it's really easy. If you ever want to learn how to draft, like I think I may have even shown. I think I have some videos, but they are inside of other videos. So right here, they even tell you they're not saying nothing. Y'all, it's supposed, look, there's 2 lines here. It's supposed to say to shorten or lengthen. It should be right here, and it's not. That's crazy. Let me see if it's on the front piece. That's crazy. Who buys these patterns? Oh my God. Yeah, it doesn't say. So if you're a beginner, let me see. It's not a beginner's pattern like easy. You almost have to know how to sew in everything, messing around with this crap right here. Okay? It doesn't matter whether it's not a beginner or not. It's supposed to say right here, shorten or lengthen line. How else would anybody know? Unless you've been sewing for a while and you just, but this should be the waistline, right? It's the waistline. But let's say you got a shorter waistline like myself. I'm short. So this would be too long for me, right? My waist from my shoulder to my waist is something like, let me see how I can measure that real quick. Because I don't want to lie, okay? That's why you take those type of measurements. But yeah, for me, from my shoulder to my waist should be around 16 inches, right? For hubby though, if I did on this one, and then I have to lengthen it from shoulder to this waistline, it's 20 inches. Okay, that's about 20 inches. He's tall, so I usually will lengthen it a little bit. Now, some people, when you don't know any better, they might lengthen it at the bottom. They say, oh, I'm going to just add an additional 2 inches at the bottom. Now, sometimes that works. Sometimes it works. And then sometimes it doesn't work, right? So why wouldn't it work in this one? Well, I think, I'm not sure, but I think this shirt has a vent. Right? It does. This shirt has a vent that goes on the side, which means it has a little opening, right? And most of them do that, especially for men's shirts, right? You would think they would do that on women's shirts. We the ones with the curves and things like that. But so I add a couple of inches at the bottom. I don't know if it will matter on this one because I'm trying to just look. And for men, for women, it will matter because, right? She might be short like myself, so you have to shorten this. But I also have a big bottom, which means I can't just add stuff down here and think that everything gonna work out. Or how about this? I can't take it away from down here. My waistline gotta be somewhere. It just depends on the style of what you're doing. But you can't just always add the additional inches at the bottom. And you can't always just take away the additional inches from the bottom. So you need to do it at your waistline, right? When you realize your waist is higher up, you go to the waistline and put it higher up. If your waist is lower, then you take the waistline and put it lower. And that's because, especially with women, because that's where she either has a smaller waist or a larger waist. And if she larger in this area, but her waistline is up here, and the waistline of the jacket is way down here. Now it doesn't fit right, right? And by the way, our bodies are shaped differently. Somebody with the same length on the waistline, but they have bigger busts, the bust line gonna increase your waist position, right? There's all kinds of things for women where our things that changes a pattern, but yet the pattern's always the same. And so I'm watching people, they measuring, they doing this, and they doing that, and they using that, right? I see them doing it on YouTube. I be thinking, what are you doing? Like, lady, all that you just did, you could have drafted that item. I promise you. You basically drafted that item when you did all that math. Okay, because you had to know your waist, your bust. You had to know the length, horizontal and vertical. You had to know the point, the measurements. And but you didn't do the points. You didn't do the measurements and the adjustments going horizontal, but you did do the vertical. And it may end up fitting you, but the chances are not. It's not gonna fit you correctly like you thought it was. So you think, it still came out a little tight. The reason it came out a little tight is because you did adjust it this way, but you didn't make it lower or higher like it should. So it's tight in this little area where it wouldn't be tight if you would have just did both those measurements. It's really simple, though. Okay, if anybody wants to give me a measurement right now, I can I could draft you out a shirt, pair of pants, um, dress. A dress is the easiest, depending, right? I don't think that I'm trying to think if there's anything that I find difficult. And for me, it's this. And when I say difficult, I mean like it's not gonna take me a few seconds to do it. I might just sit down and that damn sleeve, okay? A sleeve. I'm talking about a correctly drafted sleeve. I'm not talking about where people just guess and they just, the inside of the shirt, the sleeve is going to be different than the back side of the sleeve. But some people don't care. I watch people take their fabric, put it down, and then they just make an S shape because that's what the top and the cap look like. The top shape of a sleeve. I don't have one. I think there's one in here. Let me see on that piece of paper. It should show. Right? Where is it? Mm, anyway, it looks like a S, you know, and so but to draft it for me, I have to take my time, sit there with my rulers and everything, and do the calculations, and yeah, and is it really hard? No, it's time, and I haven't done enough sleeves where I can just right. I still have to look at my notes, and that's what I mean by take time. I look at my notes. My notes tell me exactly how to do it, and I do it. And that's the sleeve, not sewing the sleeve, but drafting the sleeve. Okay, and then even then, I'll be second guessing myself, so I'll double check and triple check, and it always work out for me. Okay, it always work out. I am gonna draft his and I'll do it this weekend. I'm not cutting into this fabric. I'm not making my husband something that I know that's not gonna be done correctly based on no pattern that I don't trust. And this fabric, I need to measure this because I'm so I could cut this. The longer it is, the more difficult it is to work with. Um, and I can't remember if this is 4 or 5 yards. And the reason I know it's more than I needed because I ended up getting it on sale at Joann's. And by the way, it was the worst sale ever that I purchased this. Okay, because they were just giving like 10%. Was it 10% or 20%? Now I was waiting for 30. And I'm glad I didn't wait for 30% because I did go back in there. And by the time it was 30%, it was gone. I was like, God damn. I want to go to Joann's today. Okay. Anyway, I do have some things to sew up, so I'm not done. I have some crafts sewing. Okay. I'm gonna show y'all what I sewed this week. Uh, was it this week? I may have started it last weekend. For some of these things. Let me see. No, I sold some of these this week too. Okay. So I sold another one of these because I sold the last one. Let's take a look at it. So this is my Marc Jacob dupe. Okay, my Marc Jacob dupe tote. This is like what they called it, the tote. I think it's called the tote, right? It has tote, or the tote, or Marc Jacobs tote. I don't know what they usually have on it, something like that. But people love this little bag. Okay, um, so why is it a dupe? Because it looks just like it, right? Except mine is a little fancier, baby. It could come in all colors, okay? And for some reason, this red one, people like. I have one in black and any color in the inside. This is the burgundy, and I made an eyeglass case, right? I already had this made. I embroidered bomb squad on it, baby. Okay, so I sold the other one, and so I made another one. It has a slip pocket on this side with the canvas at the top, and it has a zipper pocket on this side. Okay, and it has where if which I do not, I can make it and sell it, but I do not include it if you want a strap, right? But I made it to where you can get a strap, and you'll hook it in there if you want it to be long. Okay. And I have a zipper. This is called the zipper keeper right there. I know you can't see because it's black. It's hard. You see, and your zipper, it has a tab on the end of the zipper there. And it's your Marc Jacob dupe. And if you wanted me to put something on it, right here, your name, or I was thinking about putting bomb squad there, but I didn't. I just said people like it because it's basic black. Okay. And I have it in a different fabric. So this is canvas. This is cotton canvas, okay? And it's I made it stiff, of course. That's the interfacing. Okay, let me put this back in because even though this don't go together as a set, I offer it, you know, so I could upsell. Upsell, okay? That's what that's called. I made that this week. I made this week. I think this was the weekend. I'm testing the bags. I think I was on Sharon's when I made this. And this is a tester. And this is a bag you can use. You can put your makeup in. You can, and I like this one. This was my tester, right? Because you can have it on your dresser like this if you want, right? You can have it on your dresser like this. But if not, and look, I was testing it because I like the spaces like this. Let me see if I have anything to put there. I do not, and I don't feel like going in the bathroom. But let's say I don't have anything. It has a space where you can put something there, your makeup there, your makeup brushes there, and you can have all kinds of things inside this bag. Okay, now I have this in different colors. I have a couple that I'm not finished sewing over there. That's what I'm gonna finish today. It has a handle, which I'm not gonna put the handles on the others because I realized, like, what do you need a handle for? Right? You just have a little tab where you can hold it so you can zip it up, and it's on each side. Now when it's full, it's when it's full, it'll hold its shape. I haven't shaped it up yet, which means I'm gonna take my steam iron and steam it into shape. But yes, okay, that's that. Now these are my sellers for this summer, and these are my um, ruffled bags. I'm not sure if y'all saw me sewing this ruffled bag. This is a gingham black and white. Here's one with apples on it, apples and red around, right? And here is a purple one, gingham, purple and white. And I have some other fabrics like this. Um, I think I have green, but no, the green has flowers on it. I have a couple other colors. I know I have gray and white, gingham, uh, navy, blue, gingham, and I also have like a light blue gingham. And I gave one purple one away for a birthday gift, right? I think it was purple. I think so. It was for my grandson's sister. I made it for her birthday, and I did a matching scrunchie for her. And it was in this, but it wasn't this size. Hers was smaller, which this is not very big, but I could make them bigger. But this is the perfect size, right? And hers was a little tad bit small, okay, which the people would like. And her straps though was mostly shorter, right? So people, the ones that I sold with this size, they tend to like this size. They either like them really big or they like this size. And this size, I had to make the strap longest for adults. Hers was the strap was shorter for a kid, right? A teenager, a young teenager. What else did I sew this week? I have a couple of things sitting over there by my sewing machine that are still in the works that I'm not done with yet. Um, it's a couple more of these, but I decided not to put the handle on. I think one of them I already had put the handle on already, so it does. But the other ones I won't put the handle. I don't see the need for a handle. You know what I mean? Like for this type, okay? For this type, there's no reason for the handle. And in the inside of those, there's quilting, and then the inside of this is no quilting. I figured the quilting to help give it its shape, right? Or some of them I'm not going to do this inside. Like this was, I had to hand sew this inside. I don't like hand sewing. Okay. If I'm going to sew, I'd rather do it on the machine. If I got to do hand sewing, then I adjust the pattern. And even though I like the inside, I do not like the hand sewing portion. So I'm eliminating these gonna be I think it's two of these, and that's gonna be the last two that's created like this. Okay. I need to take pictures and things and um of these. Okay. Um oh, I think y'all saw me, but that wasn't this week. Okay, let me show you a few other things. I have a lot of things that I have for the market. I have lots of scrunchies and bows for little girls, and I also have hair bonnets for women and little girls. Right, I have the type that has um, first it has two fabrics on the inside and out. I've been testing my hair bonnets for 5 years now. The one that I have on right now, I made 5 years ago. The elastic stays on your head. It stays really well for 5 years, right? Getting washed at least weekly because I have three of them and I swap between the three. Um, the inside is that silky fabric, right? That keeps our hair moist so it don't dry out. I make the ones for the little girls that tie or the elastic. The elastic is better, right? The elastic is better than the ties because where you tie the knot could take out her hair. It's good for little boys and little girls. I'm talking about babies, right? Better for black kids. You know how black kids get that bald spot in the back? Well, you get them a little bonnet and put it on their head and it protects that. So when they shaking their head right to left and all those things that the infants do, you'll be protecting their hair with that silky fabric. And that's why we get those bald spots when we're kids. Okay. Um, so I made a few of those, right? When I found that out, I was like, yeah. And I made them in pretty colors. And they're downstairs with my other items that I've created different bags. And I made this. Now I made this by accident, y'all, because I was sewing online. I think we was over there by Sharon, right? And what happened was I cut this. right? It's so cute. So let me tell you what the mistake is. It wasn't supposed to be this small. This one panel was supposed to be one side, and then I was supposed to have the other panel, right? So it was supposed to be this panel and that panel. But what happened was I had um I had quilted this part, but I hadn't done this side yet. So when I grabbed the fabric and started to put it together, I was like, wait. And then so I just started putting it together like it's supposed to be put together, not putting it with the other side. Okay, because I hadn't quilted it. And like I wasn't thinking, I was listening to the conversation, partaking in the conversation. But so this would be for just a small one, right? It's a small one. It could be for an adult that go in your bag, in your purse, or it could be for a child, right? She can have her first little makeup bag, and it is fully lined on the inside, as you can see. And you see how this one is more stable than this one because this one has batting in it, and this one do not. Okay, this one doesn't have batting, but this one does. So this one keeps it structured. And it's so cute. Like it when I was making it and I realized that hey, it's not big as I thought that it should have been. I just kept going because I was like, this is just too cute. It's just so cute. Okay. And you can put a D ring on one side and you can attach it to your bag if you want, or it could go inside your bag. Or yeah, in your bathroom. Now you can put your makeup brushes and things in it. It will fit certain things, and it's just so cute. And I was thinking about making another, but if I was thinking about making a scrunchie or something, so in case of a little girl, if somebody want to buy it for their little girl, they'll have a matching scrunchie. I don't know yet. Okay, I don't know. So don't quote me on that. And because I'm gonna end this stream. What time is it? Is it time for Sharon yet? Is it close, right? I think. Wait, I don't know. I can't see the time. Hold up. Oh yeah, okay. I got a few more minutes before Sharon goes live. Okay. I think I'm gonna be up all day because I do have to sew. I'm kind of not happy about. I'm gonna show y'all these. I think I showed these, and this is what I have to finish. And here's some other things I have done. Let me show y'all in a second. I'm not gonna show them all because they're all over the place. Okay, I have to get this stuff out of my room. It's gonna be going downstairs this weekend. But here is a this is a wristlet, right? And it connects to it could connect to many things, right? You could have this. I do make these little things. I'm gonna see where are those. Um, where did I put them? Yeah, I have stacks of things over here. It's on my desk, on my sewing table. I'm looking for the one that matches that though. Okay, so let's see. Is it in the chair? Is it in the chair? No, this is my unfinished. Wait, yeah, I think you are. Okay, I do see. Okay, so let's take a look real quick. I'm gonna bend you down a little bit like that. Okay, so let's start with this. So I showed you the wristlet. The wristlet is sold separately, right? It's a wristlet, but it also, if you wanted um, the little pouch, right? It matches, of course. Now this don't connect this way. You put a D ring on or O ring, which I do have. I just haven't put them on yet. Okay, and you can put your things in here, like you want to go to the store or go out, but you don't want a big bag, but you want to have your ID, chapstick, lipstick, maybe some of your makeup. It will fit in here. and you attach it to this, and you go, and it's cute, right? There's apples on it, okay? But these are sold separately because you might just want this. You might have something that you want to attach it to. Your keys, right? And things like that. Okay, so I have those. I even have it in gingham, black, blue, and all those. Now, I also have it in black. As you can see, these are apples also, but it's black. Okay. Same size. So I'm gonna be making some more of these this size, and I have to wait for my zippers to come. And I'm gonna be making them a little smaller as well for the ones who might just want just enough for your ID, you know. But this is a nice size. It's not too big, it's not too small. I like the size. Okay. Because you are able to put your compact in there, uh, blush or anything that you want. Just because you're going for a short run don't mean you got to leave your essentials, right? Okay, cool. Now, this, what is this, Bob? Well, what did it look like? Well, it could be a couple of things, okay? Number one, your earbuds, right? Your earbuds, I'm sorry, earbuds. So this is good for your earbuds. This is the pro size. Cool for that, right? But honestly, it fit. I can show you. It has a snap on it. I haven't put that the snap on that one yet. But what I found this on my behalf, right? Because is that I like the if you go to the gym or anything and you got rings and jewelry, you can put your rings and jewelry in this and stick it in your bag, or you can also put this around your neck. You're exercising, right? An O-ring goes on here. This is not on there yet. Put an O-ring or D-ring, and you get one of these, but not for your wrist. What they call lanyards when they're around your neck, which I haven't made yet, but I will. You put the lanyard around your neck, and you put this around your neck, and your jewelry is inside of here, which means you're doing your exercise, you're doing everything, and you don't have to put your jewelry in a locker or anything. You can literally have it on you, okay, while you're exercising, or yeah, you just keep it on. And you can have your jewelry in here and put it in your purse when you take it off to take a shower and things. You put it in your little baggie, right? And have it protected. And this is I did cook this. Okay, I don't know if I'm cooking them all. I did make some that, but so this can be used for jewelry or little pieces of things. The rings and things go in there. It's real protected. That's why I quoted it. All your earbuds can go in. Okay. And here are the book covers or book book covers. Right. This one is for the AKAs that I made. This one says let your faith be bigger than your fear. Right. Some of them they come in different shapes, sizes, and they definitely come with different things. Like this one has a pocket in the front, and then it has a zipper top. Okay. And I also, this one is the first one I think I put this on. So if you want to put a D ring or O ring and have a wristlet for it as well, right? And you could carry it, you can have your book in it, but it really was protecting your books or your iPads or tablets. Okay, this is the largest size I make. And this is for a large book or your iPad or tablet. Okay. This one also. So you can use it as a book cover or your iPad. And I have others. I think y'all seen. They're downstairs. Okay. I made those a few couple of months back. So they're already in their little stash area. I haven't taken pictures so I can get rid of this stuff. um, and these are the ones that I'm working on now. The bags. This one is the quilt, but this is the inside of the bag. And the outside of the bag is cherry, strawberries. Okay, it's like a pink strawberry. This is the inside of the bag. So as you can see, I still have to finish sewing it. And this one is just like this one, except it's green. And the only thing different is I'm gonna make this one a little wider and shorter, right? And I'm not gonna, I think I'm gonna sew the inside. I'm not sure if I'm gonna do the inside work, but it's pretty on the outside. Okay. What happened is I cut both of these at the same time. I need to stop doing that because if I decide I don't like something on the first one, I'm usually stuck with the second one. So I sew them at the same time, right? I put the zipper on this one, then I put the zipper on this one. And then I put the tab on this one, and I put the tab on that. I put the handle on this one, then I put the handle on that one. But now I don't like the handle, but it's there. It looks cute. Nothing's wrong with it. I just don't want to do that anymore. But I'm stuck to it on this one, right? Because I was doing them at the same time, knowing that I was, testing it out. So I decided to make a few changes on this one. Actually, just one. It's going to be a little shorter but wider. This one is a little narrow but taller. And the only thing that changes that is this, right? You see my mark for me to sew. It was here, but I changed it to be there. And I'm gonna test it out. My tester items, they they're good, right? Nothing's wrong with them, but I do sell them a little cheaper, right? I don't know why I do that because you could never know. You would never know a tester item is a tester item unless I tell you. Okay, you'll never know because I still use good fabrics on the inside. They match and everything. But yeah, this is a tester item. Okay, and then I made adjustments on this one. So and this one the small adjustment I made on this one is kind of like that one. Anyway, what else? So I have bags, I have actual purses, I have actual backpacks, I have actual like all these things I made. Oh, and also, um, let me see, I have zipper bags, and this thing right here was a request. These, so I sold like 5 of them. I've already sold like 3 of them. I made 5, so wait, I got 2. No, I have 3 left, but I don't put the stuffing in yet. This is a pillow. Um, um, this is one of those pillows that can go behind your head, under your legs. It is 3-sided, as you can see. 1, 2, 3. Okay, it's good for when you travel. Travel pillow if you're on the airplanes. I did put a handle there so you can carry it. It's a handle on both sides, so you can if you need to grab it and put it behind your head. Yeah, I like this. I use strawberry fabric, and now I can't find anymore. Oh my goodness. Anyway, I have a couple more of these left, and then I have this, which I made. Let's look at it. It's a memory bear, right? This is my tester, and my tester came out perfect. Okay. Memory bear. So why do I consider this a tester? Because memory bears, usually what happens is people sit with, like say somebody in your family passed away or whatever, right? And you have some of their clothing and you want to make something in their memory that you can keep for whether it's for you or your children or whatever, right? So I would take the clothing and make a bear, right? Or a bunny, right? What's the difference between the bunny and the bear? Well, it's the ears. The ears, okay? And so I sold this bear. I sold like 3 of them. Okay, this is my first one. I haven't even closed them up yet, right? And it could be a she. And how would I make her a she? I will put a bow in. I will make a bow and put it on top of his head. Or I could put a dress on it, right? If I want to dress it up, make some clothes for it. The memory bears though are not cheap at all. They're not that expensive though. $80 for a memory bear that's made with clothing. If I sold this bear, it wouldn't be $80. But this is a big bear. Okay. I think if I'm correct, this is 21 inches. Or yes, I think this is 21 inches. Let me see. It's a 21-inch bear. I can make them as small as 6 inches. But the ones that are people mainly want is like 18 inches. They like the 18, between the 15 and the 18 inch is where they like to get the bears, which of course will be cheaper, right? But this one is a big bear. A child, this is big as children, okay? And the infants, this bear is big as infants. Okay, I haven't closed her up yet. See, I'm still stuffing her, but I think I'm pretty done with the stuffing. The head is firm, right? Where you can barely do any squeezing, but the body is smushy. I like it, so they can hug on it. So I haven't closed up the arms yet, or the legs, but I am done stuffing. I think I'm pretty done stuffing it at this point. Okay, and so yeah, you can choose the fabrics, or you can just choose the colors, and I'll get the fabric. But yeah, the cost will depend on the size of the bear that you want. And yeah, the safety eyes. That means they're safe for the children. The nose and the eyes are safely on there. Okay. And yes, I like. It did not take me long to sew them. I think maybe an hour. Now cutting it, that's a cutting the pattern. That's a whole nother story. That's another hour. Okay. That's another hour because this is a 3D. I made this an actual 3D bear. This is not a flat face bear. This bear has a side, upper, and another side. That means I took 3 pieces just to make the front of the face, and then another 2 pieces to make the back of the head, which gives it this effect of an actual face. Okay. That's yeah. And also I have a pattern for that's a few things, y'all. I can't remember what the name of it is. Um, you could buy them in the store. They little squishy little things. I have a few patterns for those. I don't see the pattern right in front of me because I have too many things over there on the desk. But my grandson wanted one. He chose which one because I think I had like 8 different ones. He chose it. And I just have to bring it down and border the face on it, then bring it up, create the little feet and everything to it. So that's gonna be a tester item. Actually, it's gonna be an item that I'm gonna make for him, but I'm gonna take pictures of it and if people want them. But people buy them. They little squishy toys of little different animals and things like that. Um, so yeah, I found that that's a big seller in my area, right? I did the research and online also, big sellers. Okay. So, anyway, I I have a lot of other items, but I don't have time showing them. Okay. I have a few items that people told me they wanted. I made them. I told them, I'm like, hey, I made that apron and that hat like a few years back. Somebody had me get some military fabric and then I got it. And then they didn't tell me what they want with it. So I actually made a bag, decent bag with it, not too expensive, so I can get that fabric out of here. Um, like we not was I think that fabric was for Marines and we're not a Marine family. Now, if it was army fabric, I would have been able to do lots of things with it, right? I have lots of people in the family, and in my area, if it was Air Force fabric, I would have been able to get rid of it. But the Marines, I don't know any Marines, you know. I guess, and I guess I could just make anything with the bag, and then hope. I even embroidered Marines on it, right? And I think that's downstairs. Let me see. Yeah, it's downstairs. But I'm gonna take pictures of these things so I can get rid of this stuff. Okay. I have purses and bags. I have backpacks, and zip bags. I think they're called. Why I call this a zipper bag? That's crazy. Um, just smaller bags. Okay. Pouches. Zipper pouch. That's what I want to say. I said a zipper bag, a zipper pouch. Um, and I don't think there's anything I haven't made or can't make. Tote bags, big ones, small ones, made of vinyl, leather. Now, see that right there. So I made 2 leather bags, and I did sell one of them. I sold the bag. I think no, I think I actually sold both of them. I think I did sell both of them because I haven't seen it. I haven't seen the second one. Listen, I'm not the one who do the mailing of the items, and a lot of times I'm not the one who even sold the item. I make the item, and my sons, they have friends, both male and female, and my husband, at work, we work around a lot of women. Um, and he'll come home and say, somebody wants, he'll tell me their name, of course. I don't be knowing who they are. And he'll be like, yeah, she wants a bag this color or that color, this color. And I just need to know like what price range is she looking to, like, because they never want to tell me what bag they want. You never want to tell me. I'm like, hey, give me an idea. Like, what do you want? And nobody ever has an answer. So then I break it down and say, okay, what you want to use it for? They tell me what they want to use it for. And I'm like, okay, what colors are you looking for it to be? They tell me what colors they're looking for. And then I make it. Now, I need to stop doing that now, because I make it and then I I ask them, you want leather, you want vinyl, something that look like leather, or you want canvas, or like give me an idea. People have a hard time making those type of decisions. Now, I understand it now. I never understood it. It took me a moment to understand. But in the world that we live in, we don't have those choices, right? You walk into the store, you look at what they have, and then you have to choose from what they have. But you come to me and I'm asking you like, hey, how many pockets you want? Like, I mean, do you have a design in mind? Did you see a bag like like that Marc Jacobs tote? You know what I mean? Did you see it? Oh, you saw that Marc Jacobs tote? Oh, you like that? Okay. Now you're giving me an idea because I can make that Marc Jacobs tote, right? I can make it just like it. And here's the goddamn proof. And you can't tell me otherwise, right? That you can't tell me this bag isn't like the Marc Jacobs tote. Just with better, right? Cheaper, cheaper. I don't know if it's cheaper. It depends, okay? Marc Jacobs tote. This is as much as Marc Jacobs tote, but Marc Jacobs tote, that the one that I'm comparing this to is that little ass bag. This would be the medium bag, and I do make this in a larger size. This this is the same amount as the tiny little bag. The tiny little bag is almost like this size. That small Marc Jacobs tote is this size. It's just in a tote with the handle, right? Their small tote, this cost that, right? Because I think a small tote is like, I've seen it for like 150 at the, I think around 150. Well, this don't cost $150. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, but this bag is $80. Okay, this is their medium size tote. Now this is the one that is made of canvas, right? Cotton canvas, and I do make these in vinyl, and I could make that in leather. Okay. By the way, they that small bag, that's not leather. That is vinyl. Okay. When you go into the 500 range, now it should be leather, but that doesn't mean that it is. Okay. So people have to stop just looking at it. They need to look and see genuine leather. If it says that Marc Jacobs tote, it comes in all types of things. It comes in cotton canvas, just like this, and it comes in vinyl, and it also comes in leather. Yeah. So, and mine is better, and you can get it in any color you want. You want black on the outside and white in it. I have one like that. I think it's where the straps here is two-tone black and white. I think y'all saw me making it. I don't know if I still have it though. And I do remember I make things in twos and threes. So if I sold one, I may still have the other one, but I don't think I finished it. I think it's down there on the machine. Okay. But yes. Now I'm gone because Sharon should be live. And if you're not live, it should be soon. Okay. Isn't it? I think it's Freaky Friday or Bucket Friday, either Freaky Friday, Fucking Friday, whatever you call it, Foolery Friday. I'm going to take part, okay? Because I'm wide awake. I'm going to take part. I hope y'all enjoyed the thing. I hope at least you learned something from that pattern. And, you know, I'm going to be honest. I don't want to cut into fabric. And as soon as I done cut into it, then I'm sewing it up. And then I realize something's wrong. Like, to me, that pisses me off, right? I understand a new sewist won't catch what I caught, right? But this is what I would say. Anything that goes around the body, around your neck, anything like that, those pieces are normally cut on the bias, right? Unless the fabric is knit. Knit fabric is different because even in a knit fabric, you're going to cut the neckline smaller than you want it because you want it to stretch, and it'll stretch and it'll fit nicely around your neck line. Okay, wait, let me see. So there's some things that if you know, yeah, there's some little tips and tricks. I'm looking for a shirt that I made over here. Let me see. I just saw it, y'all. But I do have too many things in this room. I told y'all, okay? Hubby, yeah, I have too much things in this room right now. But we need to go downstairs. I need it to go. Look, I made a shirt. And I'm looking for it. Here's my little bag of things I made. And I want to see it in here. No, this is so I was making somebody a jersey, a Cowboys jersey, right? Y'all, look, you can't tell me no, baby. You can't tell me that I could create. You show it to me and I could create it, right? So I was making a Cowboys jersey, but I didn't have the things that like I looked at all the patches and I embroidered all the patches, and then I couldn't find there's this piece, right? There's this fabric where they might have a stripe in it, and I couldn't find it, so I had to create it. And I was like, oh my God, right? And so I made all the patches, and I made all the NFL patches and everything. This is my sample, right? I sampled. I was like, okay, let me see how I'm gonna do it. I had never done it before. I was just looking at it, and so this is my sample piece where I made the collar, uh, and then I kind of drafted it up. Now because it's knit fabric, I should finish this off because everything looked good. I right here is still a little stitch that I need to fix right here. But this was my sample piece, and I made her a Cowboys jersey. Shit. I was like shocked myself. Okay, I was shocked myself. I looked at it. I was like, okay, and I didn't have. I did use it. It looks like because I was about to say I didn't have my serger at the time. I actually think when I bought the serger because I was making this. I think that's what happened. Okay. I don't use that serger much at all, and wasting my money to be honest. But I hear that on these knits, I have used it on knit fabrics, um, maybe twice. Maybe twice. I'm looking for this shirt so I can sign off of here. Cause I think y'all saw me make it. I made two, one for my grandson and one for his dad. And then I did make one for my oldest son, but he didn't like it because he liked his shirts fitted to his body. He liked the shirt, but he don't wear that style shirt. It's like it's too big. I was like, too big? How the hell is it too big? Uh, I'm like, it fits you. It's your size. Nope. He liked them tight ass fitted shirts. Okay. I'm like, boy, what do you need tight fitted shirts for? What? He's grown, baby. He's grown. Okay. He could have told me that shit before I made it. Okay. I can't find it, y'all. I know it's here though. Okay, I know it's here. But I have a couple of bags around here, and I really wanted to show it. But I'll take pictures of this stuff. But that one's for Leaky Fingers, not for sale. But I just wanted to show. Leaky's favorite color is orange, so I made him an orange shirt. This is one of my tester items. It is a grocery bag. Can y'all believe that? This is a grocery bag. And and it has a zipper here where you could put your ID or whatever in there, right? And then you unsnap it, bam, 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 bam. And then when you go to the grocery store, this is your bag. There. And it's a nice size. It don't look like it because it's folded still, kind of. I did it in American. I don't know why. I was trying to do something with this fabric, and now I see that I could have done something else with it. But back then, I was like, oh, I got to get rid of some of these fabrics. Okay. And uh, and I like this idea. I saw this on a YouTube video. It has see how I said this is the wristlet? It has a wristlet. Okay. So this fabric was also something I wanted to get rid of. And it says, put a ban on poaching, save the rainforest, and things like that, which I thought it would go good with a bag that helps us get away from plastic and things like that, right? And it's easy to fold it back in. I just have to remember, take this side, and you take that side, you meet them up. And then you take this and fold it down. You take this, fold it once. No, I'm doing this wrong. You gotta fold this in first. Fold that in and fold that in. Yeah, but I'm gonna fold this first, right? Like that. And I'm gonna fold this in. And you go up until you can't put it no more. See right here, but and right here. Okay. And you take this and do the same. And then you take, well, you're going to take the bottom. Okay. And then you're going to take this side and you're going to fold it up. And you're going to snap it in place. I'm shocked I remember that. Okay. And it gets neater than this. I didn't do it right because you got to be tight right there. Okay. And you got to be tight here. Oh, yeah, that's right. Wait, I think this part gets right in like that. Okay. But you need them sides to be inside. Like that. You pull that up like that. And I go look at that video again and see how, because I follow the video, I follow the YouTube video when I make this. And I like it. Okay. I only made the one, and I'm not making any more. I'm gonna be honest. It took too long to make this thing, okay? And I don't like it that much. I thought it was a great idea. And it is. It's a great idea. But I'm not making that again. I'm not never making this. That really took too long. I think that thing took 4 hours to make. I'm like, oh hell nah. And then when the end result is just not all that for 4 hours, okay? 4 hours of my time. If I want $40 an hour, which is a lot, right? That's a lot. And it depends on what I'm making. Depends on if I want that, right? I don't want that for anything. I'm not gonna charge $40 an hour for something like this. Although I could, if I could sew this and a few others all together and do at least 2 of them an hour, $40 an hour would be something like $20 a bag. So something like this is about $20, right? Something like this is like this one that's not yeah, this is like $30, y'all. Okay. These are like $38, $36. It just depends if it has a zipper or if it has a tab. If it's, y'all can see that I quilted this. I did a design on it. X across this besides. You know how long it took for me to draw that out? I gotta draw this out, do all that measurement. Oh my God, it took over an hour just doing that. And then the first one I messed up, which means I have a whole piece where I embroidered. I did the embroidery and everything. And then when I started to do that, the lines, what happened? Oh, I remember what happened. I drew the lines, and if I'm correct, I think I used a pen that wouldn't erase. Like for this, I used chalk. But for some reason, the chalk, I did use chalk on that too, but for some reason, it wouldn't disappear. It wouldn't wipe away. So I sharpened it when I used it again. I think it had oils or something, and it stained it up. So this embroidery by itself takes an hour. And that's a small embroidery design. Look at it. It says, AKA 1908, pretty and educated. Okay. That by itself took a little over an hour. Even this design is a little different. Can't tell from the top, but I did a little design here. Just wanting it to be quilted a little different. I don't like quilting, though. I'm gonna be honest. Okay, I had to get my ruler out and measure, and I don't like it. I don't like it unless I do just straight, either straight across and straight down, or straight this way, and then that way. That's simple, but it still takes time. Okay. Now I'm going, y'all. I'm going over there by Sharon, and I hope y'all enjoyed. Y'all stayed up with me. I can't sleep. But I am gonna get over there by the Sharon. I probably I need to put all this away. Right. This is my bed, by the way. And I bought this a few years back because downstairs I do have a a sewing station. I have a whole table that unfolds, and it has a cutting mat. It's in this big ass wall unit with all my fabrics and my sewing machines that's down there. And I haven't sewn down there in a while. I think last year I may have sewn down there once or twice. Hubby is usually down there. And so I've taken over this room with my fabrics and things, and I'm gonna have to start bringing things downstairs and putting them in the area, right? So that's why, yeah, it's not good. Okay, I'm gonna be making a lot of these this summer because for some reason, the what is it called again? Um, I forgot. You could tell I'm getting tired. It's not actually I'm not even tired. I just have a headache. I've been talking too goddamn long. I feel like I'm talking to myself, which I probably am talking to myself. Okay, sorry for the cuss words, but um, for those who might have virgin ears, I apologize. Okay, I apologize. Um, so I am preparing for a market, right? A market that means I'm waiting for it to warm up, and I'm going to like a market and selling my homemade items. And so you might notice that on those bags and different things, it does say Bomb Squad on it. Let me show y'all. Okay. Now I ain't gonna lie, I was debating putting Bomb Squad or Bomb Cherry. See, that says Bomb Squad and that says Delaware, USA. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna put Delaware because I want to put that is made in the USA, baby. Okay, and so I made those labels. They're not too fancy, so I'm not adding no extra cost. But as soon as I purchase some labels, yeah, they're gonna be an added cost. Okay, it's gonna because I ain't got no choice. If I start buying stuff just to make it look better, then it's gonna I got to throw the cost. Oh, and by the way, I'm not sure if I mentioned in these because I don't think I showed. There is a slip pocket, and the pocket matches the outside. Okay. This one is white in the inside. The red one is red in the inside. And the black and white one is also white in the inside. Okay. I don't really like doing white insides, but it just makes it look so much better. See, I was able to put that on. If I had made it black in the inside, uh, I guess I could have done that, but now this look better. Okay. Remember, these are spring bags as well. Um, This one is red in the inside, and it just don't look springy, right? I think the white make it look more springy. But like I think if I would have put white in here, it would have made it a little brighter, more springy. Even with the black on the outside and the red. I think if I would have added white in the inside, it would have gave it a different vibe. Now this is a spring, even though it's black. Um, I don't know. When I look at it, if it was for these apples, I don't think of this as spring. But I wear black in the spring, black and white. Okay. I don't know. I'm still up in the air about that. And I have a little bit more of that fabric. And then as you saw, that fabric also matches, right? The white apples and black apples. And then I have the gingham and black apples. So this one, these two are not done. As you see, I didn't put the piece on yet. Because I have two different type of pieces. I have the one like this, and I have another piece that clamps on. Then I have quite a few of these over there. They sewn up already. Okay. Now I have to. So I'm not done with this. That goes on. I'm done with that. Okay, I'm going, y'all. Now so I can put everything away. Let me see. I put some stuff in here. I have to remember that tablet. That little tablet is in there. That was my tester to make sure the size fit, and it fit in perfectly. it fit actually perfectly. If yours is bigger than this, then you won't be able to buy this size. Okay, because that fits in perfectly. Perfectly. Um, I I was thinking about this one was supposed to have a piece of elastic, but I forgot to put the elastic on. And so I was thinking about putting a snap on it, but I think what I'm gonna do is there's one where I put Velcro. Did that one I put Velcro? So I was thinking about putting Velcro on this one. Okay. And but the other ones I've already made a decision. There's a snap on there, and this one has a snap on it as well. And the rest of them have snaps. Okay, these are the I'll forget what those little tablets are called. Okay, but that's what these are for. And I am going to throw these in there because they are done. And I am going to throw these in there because they are also done. And I'm going to throw this in there because it is also done. Okay, so I can get it out my way. I have a couple more things over there that's done. Now, what I hate that I did is when I made these little things that I said it's good for jewelry and also for your air pods. Is that what it's called? I cut out a lot of them. I cut them out, and then I decided I want to change a little bit something on it. But now I cut at least I think I cut like 6 of them out already. So the fabric is over there cut out. And I keep saying I got to stop doing it, right? When I'm doing testers, I need to fully design it, fully sew it up, and then making changes if need to. But what I end up doing, I design it on paper or in my mind, and then I draft it kind of in my mind, and I do use measurements, right? And then I sew it up. It usually does fit the item, but I think, okay, maybe I should add a few, like 1 more inch. But I've already cut out so many of them already. And then I get frustrated. But I'm using that fabric, okay? And these are so cute, y'all. Okay, I'm rambling. I don't want to lose that. I need that. And I definitely don't want to lose these because I'm not done with these. And here is that Mexican vibe, baby. When I look at this, I was like, this is that, what is it called? Something core. Something core that's out right now. And I had this fabric for a while. When I looked at it, I just see the Mexican vibe. But I forget, it's something core. And now it's that vibe, right? Just some pink. And I cut out this panel. And remember when I said when I made this? So this is the same size as this. That's why it's two. It's two panels like this. But when I quoted this one, as you can see on this side, you'll see that I quoted that's the the batting. What made me mess up is I did one of these and one of those when I thought I was doing two of this. And so I've only done one of those and one of these, and I have to quote the other side of this. Thank goodness, because even though I like this fabric, this is the one I don't think a kid would have liked this, A kid would like this. Or adult, a woman to put this in her bag. And that's how I be messing up because I'm cutting so many things out at the same time. This is that also that core, whatever that core is, this is that too. Like when I first bought this, I thought this was first I thought it was cute when I saw it online. And then when I got it, I was like, oh my God, what am I gonna do with this ugly thing? Like it looks like it's so not 1800s, but now this is in fabric. I can't think of what they call it something core. And the only reason I like it, except for like if this was smaller, right? If these things were smaller, but they're pretty big. And because they're big, I would have to make something big. I can't make something small with this because You won't even get but maybe one of these. And you see how, let's see, we got that whole thing. You would only get one on each side. I would have to worry about making sure it's centered, which won't be a problem. But then it don't even, you know. So this is too. The print on this is too large for bags, but it's perfect for a tote. But then it's ugly for a tote to me, like just too much, too wild, for my taste. But for some reason, this is now. I bought this years ago, and now it's in. I just got to figure out what I'm gonna make with it, so I can sell it and get it out of my house. Okay, this is ugly. This to me is just. It seems like for some reason one year I bought some ugly fabrics because I actually like it, but I just don't know what to do with it. I actually like the fabric. I just don't, and it's expensive fabric. Okay, because that is also a canvas. Okay, canvas fabrics are more expensive. Okay, and then that's a cotton. If I'm correct, that's a cotton canvas, right? And when I say more expensive, I mean like, yeah, it's not too expensive. Okay? It's not like it's $100 a yard or anything. But I did buy that during COVID to make masks. It it didn't look like it. I thought that it was smaller because I bought it off of Etsy, and they charged me a lot for the little piece of fabric that I got. Okay, so I think I spent like 20 something dollars for a half a yard of fabric, 20 something dollars. But I had no choice, and then I couldn't even use it. I couldn't make masks with that large print. So I did use it though. I used it for the inside. That's the only reason you see some cut pieces. For the inside of the mask, I had to try to use it that way because that's the only way I would use it. Let me put these pieces. What piece is that? That's number 2. I don't want to mix. Oh yeah, I said I was going to use this, right? That would be wrong if I sold this pattern. Be like, hey, anybody want to buy this? it it will make the item. It's not for me. I'll give it a fail, okay? If I can make a video real quick, I would be like, hey, here's the problem with this. Cannot follow this if you are new, and you shouldn't follow it if you're not new to something. That's if I have to rent them. Okay. Okay, y'all. I hope y'all enjoyed me whining and crying. And I hope y'all have a great weekend. Okay. Anybody wants some sewing tips? If you ever think you need to call, you got a question, you have a pattern, and you're not sure exactly what to do, you could call or text me. But I ain't gonna, I'm like, I don't know what to tell people because people do text me, but you don't call me. You got to call. You don't have to talk to me, right? You don't have to talk to me, but you have to call. Once my phone rings, I will look and see, and then I'll see the notification for the text message. You cannot just text me. Okay. Number one, the phone is only near me um when somebody calls. If I hear it, I look for it, pick it up. If it other than that, I don't get notifications. I get the notification, but it don't ring. It don't, I got it set off. I have it set up where I don't get what it's called, like Like my notifications doesn't ring or make a sound or ding. I had that settings cut off. And that's because like y'all know how many people follow me on like Instagram and Facebook. My thing used to go ding 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 all day, all night. So I had to turn that off. Okay. This room, I pull stuff out. I pulled things out and I'm about to get in the bed. I think I'm not even tired, but I feel like I'm rambling a lot, which means I'm possibly tired.